Sarah Paulson on looking to younger filmmakers for inspiration and confronting today's uncertain political moment. Does there need to be a revolution? Although it's officially fall in New York City, it's a balmy, summer-like day on Thursday evening as some of the starriest women in Hollywood gather on Greenwich Hotel's penthouse rooftop in Tribeca to toast the winners of Tribeca and Chanel Women's Filmmaker Program. The crowd, nearly entirely comprised of women, spill out onto the patio as jurors Sarah Paulson, Megan Fahey, Caitlin Dever, Allison Janney, Pyle Kapadia, Issa Rae, and Jenny Slate announce this year's grand prize winners. Karishma Dev Dubey and M.G. Evangelista for Strangers, a short film about two shy newlyweds clumsily navigating intimacy in the early days of their arranged marriage. For the past 3 days, Dubey and Evangelista were among a select group of filmmakers to take part in intensive workshops, one-on-one script developing sessions, and intimate conversations as part of Through Her Lens mentorship program. As winners, they'll receive full financing to produce their short film with support from Tribeca Studios. For Paulson, the beauty of working through the project of these younger filmmakers was its distance from the commercial components that can often mitigate creative freedom. I was inspired because I was smacked in the face with the purity of my original interest in the medium in the first place. Paulson tells Variety. You can find yourself on this train of pursuit of artistic acceptance and also diving into something that really matters to you, but mixed with the commercial components of the life that you need to live in order to make a living. And some of these things are diametrically opposed. But somehow, she continues, you're having this moment with all these young filmmakers in the beginning of their career and their lives, where they're so pure with ideas and confidence and curiosity and exploration and not feeling the sort of boundaries and restrictions of commercial filmmaking. It was just so potent and powerful. It's clear from talking to Paulson, alongside fellow juror Fahey and the grand prize winners themselves, that the program was a mutually beneficial experience. Most of us are used to being on the other side, so to be sitting on the couch, on the other side of the table, was something I felt we were all very aware of, Fahey says. We kept getting feedback about how happy everybody was that we were smiling at them, but I think it's because we all really believe what it feels like to walk into a room, trying to achieve something and feeling really nervous and being confronted with something that doesn't make you feel super comfortable. While the young filmmakers on the other side of the table were given script notes and career advice, the veteran jurors were gifted with hope from a younger generation who, despite facing seemingly insurmountable challenges in a constantly evolving economy and industry, are still showing up to create their art. Paulson says they know what's happening with AI. They know what's happening inside the studio system. They know how hard it is to get a movie made, and yet here they are with their ideas, and they're just brimming with them. It's inspiring. It's cool to be hopeful. It's cool to be optimistic. I really feel like this is a real, beautiful moment for me to see that you can still have aspirations and hope, even in these sort of moments where it feels really hard to see the light. Below, Paulson talks to Variety about the Through Her Lens program, finding inspiration in the next generation of filmmakers and how she's finding hope in today's unprecedented political moment. Firstly, how was your Emmys night? All of those winners were to me like a communication of people paying attention, not just ticking boxes, but rewarding work based on real talent. It was a big night, inspiring speeches and big night for women and performances of people over 40. And maybe it'll be a big rush in and an influx of stories of people in their 40s and 50s, which is great for me. There were many people who won who deserved to win, right? There were a couple of people who I thought should have won who didn't win. So my argument is, does the value of that work made wildly less important, valuable, or worthy because it didn't get crowned with the statue? And in my mind, the answer is no. That person whose work I admire does not become diminished in the light of that other person's win. What types of stories would you like to see more of in film and TV? I love a good kitchen sink drama. I feel like there was a time when I look back at these movies that were made in the 70s and the 80s, like Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, or A Woman Under the Influence, or Opening Night, or even Postcards from the Edge. These movies that were made that were about personal relationships and interpersonal relationships. There wasn't an event or an explosion, or the world is coming to an end, or lava is everywhere on the streets of Manhattan. It was like about how people deal with one another and how you make your life work. What is a life lived? There was so much exploration of that at a different time in filmmaking, and there doesn't seem to be so much space for that anymore. Or if it happens more in television, which is great because that's a wonderful place to work as well. I feel like we're seeing a lot more of that in books. Is there any book you'd love to see adapted? I wonder if Intermezzo by Sally Rooney is going to be made into a movie. I loved that book in a way that was really unnatural. I was possessed by that book. I really was possessed by it. Also, The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride, which is an incredible book and I think is going to be made into a movie, but I don't think they've written it yet. But goddamn, that was a book I loved. I've really been in reading a lot now because it feels like a wonderful place to live inside. Although escaping is not the mode we should be living in. I wonder if we should be living in the mode of being wildly awake and present. What does being present mean to you in this political moment? It's just conversations I'm having with my friends, which are the same as I'm sure the conversations you're having with your friends. Like, what do we do? Does there need to be a revolution? Do we need to get into the street in a way that we're not on the streets? When you look around in restaurants and you're in Manhattan and people are just eating their dinners and walking around and living their lives. I don't know what the alternative is. Shifting to Through Her Lens, it's clear that it was such a special experience for everyone involved and mutually beneficial for both the mints and jurors. I kept saying to all of them before they were going into the room with the jury, and I was like every single one of them, and I can guarantee you this, all of them worry that they don't have enough to offer you in the moment. They're worried they're not going to say the right thing. They're worried that they're not going to award the prize to whomever, that someone's going to be disappointed. And they're going to worry that they don't have enough to meet them at the table. Everybody's worried. Everybody has imposter syndrome, no matter what level you are at. And I think just to try to stabilize the anxiety that somehow someone was superior to another,